What's going on, everybody? This is Al from NCAA 06 Revival, and in this video I want to go over with you the run and shoot offense from its infancy to where it is today. I got a comment on one of my videos asking me about, when I do my tutorial videos, if I throw in some history into the videos, sort of how the offenses were designed and the purpose behind them and all that good stuff, and I thought it was a good idea. Well, today I want to go over with you the true basics of the run and shoot, where it came from, and give you more of a holistic or a macro view of the scheme as opposed to just throwing a bunch of plays at you and not really understanding why they are put together. First, we'll start off where it kind of began. If you've ever heard of Mouse Davis, he didn't create the offense. Tiger Ellison did. But Mouse Davis was the one who really made the run and shoot shine. For most of us ordinary guys who are big sports fans, probably the first time you ever saw the run and shoot was in Houston, both with the Houston Oilers and with the Houston Cougars. At that time, everything was under center. With the run and shoot, it's all about 4 wide receivers and a running back. Nothing changes with that, but the way it's evolved over the years I thought was kind of interesting based off your formations. If you notice here on the screen, flex bone normal. If you go back to some of those older games with Houston Oilers and Houston Cougars, you'll see them kind of come out in a formation like this, where your 2 slot receivers was basically close to the both tackles. Over time, it evolved to spread them out a little bit more, like with the flex bone slot. And then the run and shoot experts decided, hey, let's really spread teams out and go with a true 4-wide system, such as this, ace spread. Then you got ace wide receiver trips. And then, if you remember with the Buffalo Bills back in their heyday, they ran the run and shoot, but Jim Kelly was dedicated to having a tight end in the system. He thought it just wouldn't work if you didn't have a tight end. So they kind of met him halfway and decided to put a tight end in the system. It's still a 3-by-1 set, as you can see here, out of ace wide trips, but they still ran the same concepts. Ace slot, no different. It's a 2-by-2, yet you still technically have 4 receivers. That's where the run and shoot got started. Once June Jones took over at Hawaii, he's been all over the place, but he really made his shine when he went to Hawaii, 10, 15 years or so ago. He decided, hey, let's move my quarterback out into the gun, give him extra protection, a little more time to throw, while still keeping the same core concepts. And now you see shotgun trips. And you go back on, you can go on YouTube and look up some like 2007 Hawaii game film back when Colt Brennan was the quarterback, when he was just putting up crazy numbers. You see him basically work off 2 formations, spread and trips. And I wanted to show you all that because even though the formations have changed over time, the concepts and the reason why they went to particular sets and concepts hasn't changed. The core of the offense, again, 4 wide receivers and a running back. Depending on how you like to run the run and shoot, you can do that at a normal, slot, ace spread, ace 4 wide receiver trips, wide trips, slot, spread, and trips out of the gun. The next big component of the run and shoot is motion. Back when the run and shoot was first going, there was always a wide receiver in motion. Back then, the reason they done that is to identify coverage. You play in any NCAA football game now, that's what everybody likes to do, especially if you can identify coverage yourself. What will you do? You'll take a wide receiver and you motion him around, move him to the other side of the field. If his defender follows him, it's man. If he doesn't, it's zone. Well, that was the exact same reason why the run and shoot guys done it way back in the day. Nowadays, June Jones, he doesn't coach anymore, but if he was coaching, he rarely motioned. He motioned some, but he didn't use it as much as he felt like he needed to. When I use my run and shoot concepts in NCAA 06, I motion with a purpose. I don't do it for window dressing. I actually don't even do it to identify coverage. As you all know, the first thing I look at after every time I call a play is what defense they're in, man or zone, and that's easily identifiable just by watching the corners go after their spots. So I don't do it to identify coverage. I do it to maybe get my wide receiver open. Maybe his route works better if I motion him to the right, or vice versa. If I'm calling a run play, maybe it's best if I motion a wide receiver to the right side to give my running back more room to run on the left. You see me do that a ton of times in my Dynasty videos when you see me motion around some receivers just to get my running back more open space. It's no different in the run and shoot. Later on, I can go through some concepts of the ones that I like to use and the purpose behind motion. But the point of all this is to say that motion is heavily important in the offense. You can use it as much as you want or as little as you want, but I'm giving you the green light to use motion to your advantage. The next thing is the type of talent that you would want in the run and shoot offense. I've run the run and shoot in a lot of other NCAA football games. By far, I mean, it's super simple with your quarterback. You want somebody with a great arm, accurate, who can throw deep, who just can throw it all over the field. That's easy. Your wide receivers, speed and catch. I think those are the two most important things. If they can catch the ball and they can outrun their defenders, you're golden. If they can't catch the ball, your offense is going to struggle. That's just common sense. What makes the run and shoot, to me, completely different and more unique than, say, my air raid offense or the air raid cousins of that is the use of the running back. In the air raid and air raid offense, the running back is your fifth wide receiver, basically. Get him out into the flat, let him go one-on-one against somebody. It's basically an extended run for them. But he's heavily involved in the pass game. In the run and shoot, your running back never touches the ball through the air. He is there to do two things: be your sixth blocker or to run the ball. That's why, if you notice, go to YouTube and go watch some film. Look how big the running backs are in the run and shoot offense. They got these humongous fullbacks that are there to block or to run up the gut. The advantage to this is you have a six-man protection. The disadvantage to the air raid offense is you basically have five-man protection, which means you got to get the ball off quick. Otherwise, your quarterback is going to get sacked. With the run and shoot, that's not that big of an issue. If you got six guys that can block, you could sit back there and wait for your vertical stems to form, which leads to my next point. The big key with the run and shoot offense is option routes. If you don't know what an option route is, it's simply one of your receivers going out 10 yards, and if he sees cover 2, he may run a post. Or if it's cover 3, he'll run a dig. Or if it's something else, he may run a corner route. An option route is just your receiver has the responsibility to pick the particular route he needs to make depending on the coverage. Unfortunately, we don't have that in NCAA 06. Fortunately, you don't need them in NCAA 06. I've run these concepts plenty of times. You don't need option routes in this game. They're fun to use, especially in NCAA, I think 12 through 14. In the later games, they got the option routes down pretty good, and your wide receiver awareness is tied to that. So that's pretty neat to use. But again, if you want to run a run and shoot style system, you do not need option routes, especially in 06. The other big difference between the run and shoot and the air raid offense is how vertical your routes go. In the air raid offense, if you've read my book, if you watched any air raid offense in real life, the air raid offense is everywhere. It's a ton of horizontal stuff, a lot of flats, curls. It's just getting the ball 5 yards out to one of your receivers and let him do the rest of the work. The run and shoot offense is very vertical in nature. Lots of goes, posts, corners, and deep comebacks with maybe one receiver coming in for like an out route. The air raid offense, it's basically you got 3 small 5-yard routes, and you may have 1 go route. Run and shoot is the exact opposite. Usually you have like 3 deep routes with 1 short route. Just in case the blocking isn't there, you can just pass it off to him. So those are the big differences between the two types of pass-heavy offenses. Both of them look the same by formation. Both of them love to go 4 wide, but their approach to scoring points is completely different. For NCAA 06 purposes, and like I said, I'm not going to go into plays in particular, but if we go to like flex bone slot, this is one of the old school formations that you would use with the run and shoot. Like take wide receiver middle. You can look here, you got a switch combo on the left. You got a wheel going to the outside with a post right beside it. You're just attacking a safety. Then you got a dig on the left. That's a good run and shoot staple. You got 3 deep routes. You also have your other slot going in for a block for a few seconds, and he goes out to the middle of the field so he can catch the ball. The big thing is, notice the blocking. You got 5 blockers, your 5 linemen, and your B-back is also blocking. 6-man protection. So when you decide what offense you want to run, which pass-happy offense you want to run, it all depends on what you care about most. Do you care about 6-man protection, going deep, or do you care about only 5-man protection and getting the ball off quick? It's up to you which one you like. Both of them work just fine in NCAA 06. So back in the day when Houston was rocking and rolling, putting up 700 passing yards a game, putting up crazy numbers, because back then nobody knew how to stop it, they eventually decided to go the ace spread, and slot crosses here is really good. You got 2 deep routes with a couple, we got a mesh concept in the middle. PA dive, 3 deep concepts with a flat, with a zig out. Then you can go, ace 4-eye shooter trips. You've seen me run slot clear out some. That's a good deep and or high-low concept. PA strike, no different. I'm not going to go into wide trips and ace slot. Now, ace slot you see me use a ton. There's flanker middle. Look, it's no different than what you saw at a flex bone slot. Deep outs, you've seen me run this a ton. It's a great play. 3 deep routes with a short route. 6-man protection. You got 5 linemen, and you got your running back blocking. What I like to do with my run and shoot is I like the June Jones variety only because the shotgun spread has a lot of great deep ball concepts. PA read, wide receiver under. You see me run that a bit. Slot seams. You got 3 goes and you got 2 underneath. You can hot route your running back to get your 6-man protection, and you can still put up crazy numbers with that play. Let's see, PA flood, great concept. Corner strike, can attack any coverage. Halfback screen, like I said, your running back doesn't get the ball much, but if you notice, it's got a backside post with 3 goes. Deep attack, excellent play. This is one of the best plays, and I can show you right now. A great play to use to motion, to make use of your motion. Like it's man, I don't really need to motion much. Again, zone, I'll show you what I do. What I just done was I hot routed my running back to block. Gives me 6-man protection. Looks like we got cover 1. I could just give it to my out route. Just a bad throw. Now it's zone. What I like to do is motion. Look, it's run and shoot. At least it's got the look of it. I'll motion my receiver over. I got a couple options here. I could give it to him. I could give it to the post. Now they're man. I could just keep it as is. My outside receivers are being blocked. He was open. It's just a bad throw. Here's another man. Defense. Both safeties coming up. I could just go deep. Let's see if he can make a play. Again, I got 6-man protection. As such. Looks like it's man again. I can try to give it to my slot if he can make the throw. He just overthrew it. We'll do it one more time. They're going zone. Again, I can motion. Looks like run and shoot. Just depending on how the defense is rolling here. He was wide open. He just overthrew it. It was covered 2. The post was wide open. Just to give you an example of what you could do with motion and out of shotgun spread. The let me make sure I didn't miss anything. The run and shoot that I like to use, I basically do everything out of shotgun spread. Trips is okay too. Trips is your better air raid formation because it's got a lot of horizontal concepts than vertical. You got more screens and drags. PA inside's pretty good. Just a lot of more, not as many vertical stuff as you would like. Also, my air raid offense, I have some rollout plays. Back in the day, if you watch some of the old cut-ups, your quarterback would initially roll out. I don't know why they done that. It didn't make a whole lot of sense. I think once defenses started blitzing, they got rid of the rollout. Hence, that's why June Jones decided to go into shotgun. And you don't have to roll out your quarterback. There's just no need for it. We can do a PA flood. Again, you got 6-man protection. It's man. Both safeties coming up. You can give it to your post. Go in zone. Cover 2. Nope. I can try to give it to my... There we go. Get 6 points there. Again, you're just hitting them deep. 6-man protection. Just overthrown there. Both safeties coming up. That's just good defense. I can try one more time. Another good throw there. He just dropped it. So, in summary, if you want to run the run and shoot offense in NCAA 06, you have plenty of options. There are enough vertical concepts out of flex bone, normal, and slot. Wingback corners is pretty good. Let's see, PA boot left. You don't have to use a lot of play action because you're going to run the ball or throw the ball a whole lot. Slot has good verticals, wide receiver middle. Where's the other one? Vertical on the right, that's great. Smash is good. Wide receiver corners. The big thing I wanted to tell you, or the last thing, is the big rule when it comes to running the ball is if there are 5 men in the box, you run the ball. That's the only rule you need when it comes to running. Here the defense is in dime, so I can hot route to my one running play. In my type of run and shoot offense, I'll basically run the same run play over and over again. If the defense is going to show dime, 4 down linemen and 1 linebacker, I'm going to run it. I just have the numbers to get decent yardage. Notice Battle here, my running back, he's very big. He can sometimes run over people. I don't try to abuse the speed button here. Just kind of give you an idea of what you can do. Or you could do it out of the gun. Alright, that wraps it up. Hopefully this helps you a little bit, just kind of give you an idea. If you've ever wanted to run the run and shoot and you didn't know kind of where to start, I would start with these formations: normal, slot, ace spread, ace 4 wide receiver trips. If you want to go the Buffalo Bills route, you can with wide trips and the ace slot. Or you can go the June Jones route, shotgun spread or shotgun trips. Play around with the vertical concepts. See which one you like. If you are an old school guy and you really want to try out the old school run and shoot, you could do it. There's nothing stopping you from doing so. I'm just telling you that you can do it. I've played enough with these concepts to know that I can make it work. Hopefully my next dynasty, I haven't made up my mind yet. I'm either going to go with a full-blown flex-bone offense or a run and shoot. I haven't really decided on that yet. What I could do if I do go run and shoot, I can use all the concepts. You could do the same thing. Maybe if you can't make up your mind which way you want to go, use all 6 formations or all 8. Have a full-blown, all-you-can-eat run and shoot offense, depending on your personnel. Maybe a team that you decide to go with a dynasty with doesn't have 4 wide receivers, but maybe they have 3 with a fullback and a halfback. Do everything out of flex bone slot or out of ace wide receiver trips or ace slot. Or if you got the wide receivers and the quarterback, go full-blown 4 wide, 1 running back, and you're golden. All right, guys, hopefully this was helpful. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section. We'll have a good discussion going. And keep on the lookout with my current dynasty. If you've been keeping up with it, I'm running a full basic spread offense, but I'm also sprinkling in some flex bone offense along with some run and shoot concepts. So keep a lookout for that. All right, fellas, I'll talk to you later.